But that leads us into, I think, our next discussion.
Oh, I was going here.
Okay. Well, we can do that.
But if yeah, let's talk about the legislative scorecard.
Well, yeah, we just had a couple more come out this week.
Yeah.
As you know, Sooner Politics, my publication, came out with the Freedom Index back in mid-June. Now we've had the granddaddy of them all, the Oklahoma Constitution's 41st annual Conservative Index. And it was interesting. I posted it all up there on 3D Politics Facebook page, so you can take a look at all of them. I keep a journal of all the different scoring index. So we've got 4 of them. Freedom Index focuses on individual liberties, trying to advance and defend our individual liberties. Conservative Index, which is kind of traditional conservatism, if you will.
Okay.
Some might look at Reagan conservatism, Jerry Falwell conservatism, Jack Kemp conservatism, all these different things. The REID Index is another one that is just creating a pro-business atmosphere for the sake of the prosperity, and some would say especially the prosperity of the big businesses, don't you know? But anyway, hey, you got to have commerce, right? So, and then we got...
And we have to pay for it.
Yeah.
We have to bribe them.
Well, somebody got to prime the pump, right? So, but then we got another one. Sooner Tea Party came out with, they rebranded what they used to do as the Rhino Index. Al Gerhardt started what's called the Trump Index. And it's interesting on this because he's trying to seize how, as much as we give lip service to backing our president, how many of them vote in line with Trump's proposals, what Trump's trying to do on the national level. Are we following through here? Because, for instance, last year, at the same time Mary Fallon was, just rah-rah, cheer, Trump's tax breaks, she was raising taxes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's kind of what Al's trying to get at in there. I have to say something here. Big part of what Al did on this one is the criminal justice reform issues and stuff. And, his contention is when it comes to, serving time for what you've done wrong, Trump is not trying to cut back those sentences or anything.
Right.
What he's focusing on is when you paid your dues, getting you back into society, living a productive life again.
Right.
Many times we stack the deck against you and then wonder why you reverted back to crime.
Right.
The thing
but he has pardoned or commuted sentences of people who have been wrongly convicted of non-crimes. What we talk about all the time. Crimes that aren't crimes, that have no harm to anybody else, that are actually just an exercise of right, but hey, they're illegal.
So Al and I talked a little bit this afternoon, and I pointed out, I said, it's like we said on the show a couple weeks ago about the embezzlement charges. If you go to state court on a big-time embezzlement of $1 million or more, you're likely to spend at least 10 years in jail. But if you go to federal court, you're probably not going to spend 4 years in prison.
Right.
So we have to get these things in line. Al's response to me is that, yeah, but how much of that time and that sentence do they actually serve? His contention is in the state, they don't serve nearly as much of it unless it's a violent crime. Violent crimes have the 85% rule. But I think what we need to do...
And guns.
Yeah, and what Al and I have, came to agreement on is we really need to get our state laws somewhat reflective and consistent in how the rest of the nation does, or at least our federal stuff, so you don't have these lawyers trying to bypass state and surrendering to a federal court just so they can get a lenient sentence. Because that's essentially what's happening on some of these.
Well, remember the other day we talked about how the Supreme Court has now said we have 2 separate sovereign, so you can get them both places,
Yeah.
irrespective of the Fifth Amendment.
Yeah, and
So-
we got to watch how that develops. This is going to be an interesting deal. So anyway, that's my report on. It's some interesting reading. Go to 3D Politics on Facebook. Take a look at that link I've got up there to all 4 of the scorecards that have come out since the legislature's gone. It's good reading.
If you're just tuning in, I'm Tom McCam, your host for 3D Politics. I got 2 out of the 3 Davids. David Van, David Oldham, David D'Ambroso is out tonight. So the big winners and losers on the scorecards. Who's your top 3 winners and top 3 losers? Or can you throw it out there like that?
I would say
is that doable?
Nathan Dom is the golden boy on just about
He
everybody's
just almost
list.
always is. It seems.
Yeah, he
Even
has
on the big government, the big
The REID
donor
Index,
class, the
yeah.
REID Index.
the REID Index of economic
Even they
development.
like Nathan.
Yeah.
Go figure, because they're always
Yeah.
saying they're the ones that are always fighting
Yeah.
him. Yet he is, because liberty actually works and makes people money.
Yeah.
Gives you the ability to do business.
Yeah, a freshman, Jim Olson from out there in Stillwell area, he did well. We've got Joe Newhouse did really well in some of these, and Tom Gann, very good. We've got a number of great lawmakers. I will say, generally, this is one of the better sessions we've had.
Good.
I mean, we've usually, ready to charge up.
They
think
were
we're-
happy because they had all that. They were flush with cash.
We have extra money.
They were desperate to try to figure out how to spend it all.
Sure.
Sure. When you got
Yeah.
$500 million extra dollars, it's like,
but
ooh.
This could turn within a month of now.
Oh, yeah.
Because there is talk of calling a special session to expand Medicaid in Oklahoma.